Get back to our top story right now. President Obama stepping up his efforts to move forward on gun control. Flanked by those who've been touched by gun violence, the president today tried to shame the American public and the Congress into action. He was introduced by Katerina Rodgaard, who taught one of the victims of the Virginia Tech massacre and is a mother herself.
Thank you.
After losing Rima and seeing the horror at Sandy Hook, my reaction was that I no longer felt it was safe to raise a family in this country. I felt I either needed to leave the country or do something.
And Katerina is joining us here in the Situation Room. You taught Rima Samaha. We've spoken to her dad over these years at Virginia Tech. She was killed on that brutal day. What was it like to introduce the President of the United States at the White House today?
It was absolutely amazing. I'm just a regular, ordinary citizen, and I just found out less than 24 hours before I had to do it, that I was going to do it.
How did they pick you? Did somebody call you from the White House? How did they know about you?
They asked our organization, Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, to be present at this event, and they asked us each to submit a short bio of our story, and I guess they chose my bio. And they were affected by it enough to ask me to introduce the president.
How were you affected personally? Just in a little summary of what happened at Virginia Tech.
Personally, at Virginia Tech, I was shocked. I learned about Rima's death on the news when they started scrolling the pictures and names of the victims. I was shocked. It was the first time I've been touched by gun violence, and not the last, I guess.
All of us have been, have heard about it, but you knew someone who was actually brutally killed senselessly at Virginia Tech University. So how frustrated are you right now when you see this tougher gun control legislation seemingly stall?
Oh, I'm very frustrated. These are people, most of whom have never been touched by gun violence. This is an epidemic. This is a public health crisis. And I am very frustrated. I was extremely frustrated right when I first started this, that we didn't even have, I was frustrated to even come across any opposition. This is common sense. This is common sense.
Did you speak to the president personally about this today? Did you have a chance to exchange a few words with him and the vice president for that matter?
Yes, I was lucky enough to do so before I spoke.
So how did those conversations go? What can you share with us?
They were very appreciative of our help, all of us moms. Some of the moms that were there have lost children as recently as 35 days ago. They were touched by our presence, and they asked us to continue to help support because it's going to be an uphill battle.
You have this personal connection. What do you want to share with lawmakers right now who are trying to decide how they should vote?
Well, the vote in the Senate is due to come up around the same time as the anniversary of Virginia Tech. I hope they keep that in mind, as well as all the other mass shootings that we have had. This is unacceptable. Whether they pass something or not, and I believe they should, we will not back down. We will come back. We will come back for the midterm elections and so forth. We will come back until we get all of the measures we are seeking met.
You have a picture over there. What is that picture?
This is a picture of Rima dancing.
It's a beautiful young lady over there. There we see her. And as I said, I've interviewed her dad on a few occasions, and our heart goes out to that family, to all the families of the victims of these senseless killings. Katerina, thanks very much for coming in. Good luck.
Thank you, Wolf.
The former South African president